Hey y'all, so today was one of those Sundays that just hit different. I made it to church and knew it would be hard to find a parking spot because we had a guest speaker, and the guest speaker was Tim Ross. The message he had for us today was culture shift. And let me just say, I am so glad that I was able to hear this message because it really hit home. He talked about what it really means to be a believer and how we are called to shift the culture. It's good to go to church and read your Bible, but our main goal is to transform the world around us. So Pastor Tim said that there's a sound in our society that mandates for us to want to make a shift. And I was really thinking, like, what does he mean by that? So he had used the example of a stick shift, not just the way it makes the car move, but the sound it makes that lets you know that the car is about to move and that a shift is about to happen. The click is the sound of change, the sound of transformation. And today I realized that my faith is like that click. The click is the sound of me moving into a new direction. Pastor Tim also mentioned how a culture shift isn't just about doing things differently, but about aligning our behaviors and our values with kingdom principles. So in order to be transformed, the shift has to start with how we think. He gave the example of Daniel. Even though he was in Babylon, he wasn't of Babylon, which shows that you can be the light in a dark room. And it really reminds me of how we don't choose the culture that we are a part of. He brought up another example of how people argue and how you shouldn't argue with someone who's crazy.
Anytime I saw crazy people talking, I left them alone. I don't have to argue with them to change the atmosphere of the situation.
He said that it's not about arguing with people. It's about living differently so that they will notice, so that you won't have to say anything. They'll see it through your actions. They'll see it through the way you speak. Sometimes you might be the only light in a dark room, and people will automatically be drawn to you. So don't dim your light. And the last note that I wrote down that Tim said that really stuck with me is, he said, I'm not turning my light down just because you're turning your darkness up. So just because the people around us are engaging in these dark activities does not mean that we need to dim our light. Be you, shine bright. It's time for a shift, y'all. Are y'all ready?